Hey, I'm your host, the Bread Pirate, and last week I made the strange decision to delete every single item in my inventory in Tears of the Kingdom. Now, some of you might be thinking,
well, that's a stupid decision.
Especially because, as many of you are aware, I have not beaten the game yet, and now that I have no items, it's only going to take me even longer to complete that tantalizing goal. Also consider this, after I sold all of my stuff in my inventory, I had an absurd amount of money in my wallet, which wasn't gonna slide because the whole point of this was to become impoverished. So we ended up spending 2 hours on stream figuring out how to delete that much money. Who would have thought that was gonna be the thing that was a pain in the neck? But we did it. At the end of this live stream, all I had left were a few unsellable items and these 2 clothing sets, which I actually kind of need for my next video. But rest assured, I'm going to be getting rid of them eventually. So, why did I do this? Well, in the words of one equally insane YouTuber,
when you have almost nothing, you value everything.
Do you remember what it feels like to play your first day in a Minecraft world? Every single item is valuable, and every single block you collect represents a milestone in your progression. A block of wood is not merely a building material, it's a resource for starting crafting. And stone is not just used for bricks and mortar, it's used for creating your first weapons. Even the lowly wooden pickaxe represents a huge leap in progression, since it unlocks the ability to harvest stone and can be used as a source of fuel whenever you're done using it. But now let's fast forward 2 weeks into that Minecraft world. Now you have a chest of 3,510 cobblestone blocks. And now it's no longer exciting to collect wood because you already have 12 crafting tables at home that you accidentally made when you clicked the menu wrong. And you now no longer need to chop trees for fuel because you have enough fuel from coal mining that you could outlast the sun. The fun challenge of surviving is gone. Now it's just a matter of grinding resources in order to build some outrageously large castle, which you're probably never going to use afterwards. And the same is true of Tears of the Kingdom. At the beginning of the game, each new material you collect represents a huge milestone in your power growth. Your first Bright Bloom seed represents a new way of battling darkness. A rock is an invaluable tool for mining resources or chopping trees. And your first apple grants you the superpower of healing in the middle of a fight. The beginning of the game is the best part of the entire experience in each of these games because of one simple truth. Having nothing is more fun than having everything. But okay, I'm sure some of you are screaming at me to give a practical example. So consider this. Shock fruit. Shock fruits are a material in Tears of the Kingdom that can stun enemies and make them drop their weapons. Before I sold my inventory, I had 113 shock fruits. 113. There is no universe where I need 113 shock fruits for a single fight, or 2 fights, or even 10 fights. By having so many shock fruits, it basically turns it into a permanent ability. There will never be a time when I cannot shock enemies, steal their weapon, and then get a few hits in. And it's not even that risky, because if I miss, there are still 112 others for me to work with. The same goes for my 44 ice fruits, which freeze enemies, or my 174 fire fruits, which distract enemies and deal more damage. I used to have 100 puff shrooms too, but I sold them a few months ago because it made each combat encounter way too easy. All of these items are extremely powerful, and that's fine, except that it's too easy to hoard them in vast quantities. I have a theory that Nintendo made it this way in order to incentivize players to use their items as frequently as possible, as opposed to the too cool to use policy, where you get a cool item, but you don't want to waste it, so you never use it, which is really bad. That's really bad, and people shouldn't do that either. But by giving the player tons of items, now you've just turned their consumable ability into practically an unlimited ability. And that's not fun either. I like the feeling when supplies are limited, when careful strategizing is necessary to come out on top of a fight, and when combat feels like a game of chess, and I'm down a queen and a knight, but I still have a few aces up my sleeve that I intend to use. Imagine how boring a game of chess would be if one of the sides had 100 rooks and 30 queens, and the other side had a normal set of pieces. I mean, sure, that'd be really exciting for a few minutes, But then that excitement would quickly give way to boredom as you realize how tedious every single chess game is going to be from now on. That is how combat in Tears of the Kingdom feels, when there is no inventory management and when you have unlimited resources, or a lot of resources. Then you can just grind your way through any problem by eating 100,000 apples and spamming all of your elemental weapons. Combat no longer has any risk to it. And the same thing goes for other mundane activities too. Mining is far more interesting when you need to scramble to find mining gear. Exploring the darkness is more interesting when you only have 3 light bulbs and a star fragment. And saving up for a new outfit is more enjoyable when you actually have to search for a source of rupees as opposed to selling the hundreds of monster guts and horns that you happen to have in your backpack. Seriously, that stuff is nasty. Why do you have this? Why do you have this? By the way, small confession I have to make. This was not the first time I deleted my inventory. That live stream that I did a week or so ago, no, that's not the first time. The first time I ever deleted my inventory in Tears of the Kingdom was a month after the game came out, because I already had way too much stuff after just a month of playing it. And I'll tell you what, it was 100% worth it, because it made exploring all of the new regions of the game that much more exciting, when I was going in with few resources and then collecting as much as I could just to survive the elements in the new place that I was in. That is why I deleted all of my inventory in Tears of the Kingdom. And it is why I would recommend to you to do the same if you find the game boring but don't want to delete your save file. There is actually one other reason why I deleted my inventory too, but I can't reveal it at this moment. It'll become more clear in the weeks following Echoes of Wisdom. Let's just say I have a special project coming up. Regardless, thanks for watching, and until I see you next time, have fun storming the castle.